What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Chris, man. We are here at the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. It is Tuesday, May 14th, 2024. My name is Chris Drummond. I am a sports reporter based out of Minnesota here. I'm also a casino host and proprietor of this podcast where we like to bring people on to talk about their why into their profession and get to know them beyond their occupation. I'm a journalist, so I love talking to other journalists. And my special guest today is a morning news anchor based out of Cincinnati. She has also worked at Fox 19 News. She's also worked in Dayton, Ohio. She's also an Ohio University alum. So she is true and true Ohio. And she's somebody who I've followed for the past few weeks, few months of definitely just doing terrific work, amazing work. So without any further ado, I introduce to you the beautiful, the talented, the passionate Sheila Gray.
I am
I
sorry
think
about all the problems. I don't
it's
know why my
okay.
computer wouldn't let me unmute. It was really weird. I've never had that happen before.
That is okay, Sheila. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Chris. How are you? It's good to see you.
I'm doing good. It's good to see you. You look absolutely amazing. Just want to start
Thank
off by
you.
saying you're very
Thank
welcome. Very welcome. I just want to welcome you on to my podcast, Work Hard, Play Harder. I love talking to different journalists of anchors, producers, anybody really in the communicative type field. I love talking to them, learning about their story. I want to give some background and some context on why I wanted you on. I've looked at some of your I don't want to say it's reels, but I would say videos of what you do and how you anchor. I think you do obviously an amazing job. You've been doing this
Thank you.
for you've been doing this for a bit, and that's good. And I love that. And I love the fact that you talk about many different stories and that you show your love for sports out there in Cincinnati. You are truly Ohio. If anybody knows
I'm
you,
a Reds and Bengals fan for sure. Yes, sir.
no question, no question, right? I mean, Bengals, Reds. What else you got? Maybe even
FC
Columbus.
Cincinnati, Ohio State, UC Bearcats, Xavier,
There you go.
UK.
There you go. And you also went to Ohio University, which
I
is
did go
home of the
Bobcats.
Bobcats, if I'm not
Yep,
mistaken.
that's right.
Okay, so yeah, so I just definitely wanted to kind of talk to you and vibe with you, get to know you a little bit, ask you some fun questions, but also be informative about how your day is, because there may be other people that want to be in an anchor type of role, and they should know. They should know what you go through on a day-to-day basis. So, without any further ado, I'm going to get to the first question, which I always ask on my podcast, is why? What is your why? Of why you got into journalism? Why do you do what you do? And were there any role models growing up? Anybody that you looked up to that said, "I want to be like that"?
Well, so I think the why changes, right? The why changes throughout your life. And so
Hmm.
when I started out in the business, the why was I just wanted to be on TV.
Okay.
I didn't know much about news. I wasn't a huge news consumer growing up. I
Hmm.
remember when Connie Chung became an evening anchor and took over, after Dan Rather, I guess, on CBS.
Right.
When I was growing up, it was all men on the news. Barbara Walters was the only woman on the news.
Right.
And so then when I went to Ohio U, I just had this idea that I wanted to be in communications. I wanted to be on TV, but I didn't know anything about what I wanted to do or how I wanted to do it. And that was the great thing about Ohio University, which is still great about it, is you go in there and they have television stations and radio stations. And from day one, you can get in there and start learning how to write and broadcast and gather sports and gather news. And you get all this hands-on experience, right there along with your tuition. So I did everything. I did jazz shows on the radio. I did bluegrass. I hosted a night shift radio show. I did an internship while I was in college with a talk show producer. So I learned about all these things. But what I really started to realize was I loved interviewing people. I've always loved talking to people and meeting new people. And I've
Hmm.
always gone out of my way to connect with new people. So that's what is great about my job, right? Like I get to meet new people every day. Even if I'm just going down to Kroger to get some groceries, I'm going to meet some
Right.
new people, because I'm blessed to have been here a while and people follow our show and watch. So my why starting out was I just wanted to be on TV, but my why now is I have a platform where I can bring positivity to people's day because there's a lot of bad stuff in the world, as we all know.
Sure.
But on our show, we look for the good stuff. We look for the good news and the positivity and something to make you laugh and feel pretty good when you're leaving your house. And also, I love being able to highlight people who maybe have a small business or they have an idea or they're doing something good in the community. And I love being able to highlight that and let people know about all the good things that are going on in this great place that I live. So that's how my why has changed.
I love that, Sheila. Love that. I really do. And by the way, before I get to the next question, Sheila is a beautiful name. And I'll say that because my mother's name is Sheila as well.
That's awesome. You don't run into too many Sheilas.
You don't,
That's
not at
great.
all. So yes, absolutely. I always have a special affinity for anybody who's named Sheila, for sure.
That's cool.
Yes, indeed. Now let's talk about Ohio University. Obviously, that's where you went to. I want to know, were there any other schools that was on the radar for you to go to that you might have said that you might have said, oh, I might want to go there, but you end up choosing Ohio? What other schools were in your mind?
You know what's so funny? I grew up in this family where everybody went to Ohio State. It was all Ohio State football. Everybody went to Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was a junior in high school, I think I did well on a test or something. And I got this invitation to come down to Athens and spend a weekend at Ohio U in a dorm, with other kids my age and everything. And my mom took me down there. And
Yes.
When I spent that weekend there and I found out about their communication school, and the campus is so beautiful. It was the first college ever built in Ohio in 1804.
Wow.
And so got this beautiful architecture and the brick streets, cool bars and restaurants, this great vibe. I did not look at one other school. I just went to Ohio U. Yeah.
Okay.
Now I know that there are a lot of great broadcasting schools. There's Northwestern, there's Syracuse,
Yep.
there's Duke. Ohio State turns out great people. We get great people from University of Cincinnati, but Ohio State or Ohio U is still my special place. And they still create really professional people.
Do you still, obviously, what kind of ties that you have with Ohio University? Do you go back there and maybe have a speaker series with them, or do you maybe want to teach a class there? What kind of ties do you still have that with Ohio?
So in the past, I have gone and spoken to student groups, especially journalists. I have done broadcaster in residency program there where I went and spent 3 days and taught classes and seminars. Now it's kind of hard for me to get back there because I have a teenage son, but I am part of an alumni group and we meet on Zoom and we talk about ways to support the students who are in the broadcast journalism program, and they work at WOUB and radio and TV at the public TV stations. So this is a way for people in the profession to support them, to give them ideas about jobs, lift them up, give them a boost. And we raise money for scholarships. So
I love it.
Kid can't afford to stay there during breaks and work, we raise money to pay them. So it's a job, it's a paying job while they're at Ohio U, or we pay for them to go on excursions to learn about the field and that sort of thing. So that's one nice thing about being around for a while. We have a lot of contacts in the community. We can raise money for the kids. So that's
absolutely
what I do now. Yeah.
I love it. I'm on here with Sheila Gray, morning news anchor based out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Work hard, play harder podcast. This is a bonus question, Sheila, because for me, I'm a journalist. I've been a journalist now for about 5 years. I was in lottery before. I was working for the lottery IT for about 5.5 years, almost 6 years. But I really am passionate about storytelling, and I really love sports, and I really love just doing that. But I hear a lot about internships, and this is the bonus question that I have for you, is because I want your thought process on this. Do you think students should do an internship without some compensation? Now, me personally, if you can afford it, okay, that's all good and fine. But if you can't, then I say no. I say you definitely have to find an internship that you need to get compensated for, because there's some people that can afford that. but
Right.
there's a lot of kids that cannot. What
Yeah.
is your feeling on that? Because that was like a huge debate. I would say maybe even a couple of years ago on the social media platform.
I remember.
Do
Yeah.
internships or not? What do you think?
I think they should be paid. I mean, they're doing work, right? They're doing work for the station, no
Sure.
matter what kind of work it is. They're writing news. They're learning how to produce. They're helping to put things together. I think they should be paid.
Right.
Or even if it's like living expenses or something, I think definitely they should be paid. I think that's why a lot of students are starting to choose colleges and universities that have co-ops, because
Yeah.
co-ops, you go for a semester, you get paid. And some of
Right.
those programs, they get paid a lot of money. So, while I'm not the one running the station handling the purse strings, I think they should get paid. But if you can do it, the experience that you get is priceless, right? So if you
Right.
can do it in your hometown, like if you can do it in Cincinnati and stay at mom's, and help moms,
Yeah.
and get, maybe get a job on the weekends or doing something like that. I think there are
Right.
ways around it, but I definitely think that there should be a push in all industries to pay interns for sure.
Without question. And I know I advocate that a lot to especially college kids that come out, that graduate either, this year or even high school kids. Because, I cover high schools and college for sports. So I like to talk to the kids when they ask me questions about journalism, stuff like that. I just try to tell them that, you want to get experience. Ask
Right.
any kind of department that's in your college, ask your teachers if you take a journalism class or photography class or anything. You want to get experience. And you want to try to get that experience and try to get paid for it, especially if you're in college. I always advocate
Well, I
that.
tell
Definitely
kids when you're looking for schools, you make sure you go and find a school that will let you have an experience. Go in
Sure.
Ohio University, they've got a radio station, they've got a
Sure.
TV station. You can work there. You can get paid there. A lot of the jobs are not paid, but you're there for that semester anyway. So
I love
you
it.
might as well go ahead and take advantage of that. And if you're looking at a school in this industry and they don't have any resources for you to get hands-on learning while you're there, you need to pass that school by.
I'm with you on that. 1,000%. No question about that. I'm going to ask you some favorite questions, Sheila. Okay. And what I want you to do is you give me some answers based upon these questions. Okay. Are you with me?
I'm ready. All
right, here we go. Favorite meal you like to cook?
Oh, I like to cook. I thought you were going to say I like to eat. I love making fajitas, and I make my own spices to put on it.
Ooh, Sheila, if I'm ever in Cincinnati, I may have to hit you up for that one. Whenever it's fajita night. Whenever it's fajita night, I might have to do that. I like that. It's pretty good. Okay. Favorite concert you've ever attended?
Post Malone.
Stop it. Are you serious?
I'm not kidding you. So my son and I love Post Malone, and I took him to Columbus to see Posty at Nationwide Arena a couple of years ago, and we loved it so much. Then last summer he came to Cincinnati to Riverbend, which is the outdoor concert venue. It was the most amazing, entertaining concert I have ever been to, and it was like a million times better than his one at Nationwide Arena. I love Post Malone.
I'm actually the reason why I said stop is because he's my favorite artist as well.
That's why. Oh my God, I love Posty. I love everything he does.
He came here to Minnesota at St. Paul, the XL Energy Center where the Wild play, and I went and saw him. Obviously, his last few albums, I've gotten all of them. His Austin album is amazing. They just did. Great. He just came out with a song with Morgan Wallen, which was pretty good.
I love that song. I just heard that yesterday.
So, yes, I'm a huge Post Malone fan. Cannot wait to him go back on concert. I love that. Girl, you got my heart right now.
I love his positivity. He's so loving. He puts it all out there, man. I love that guy.
He's the it guy to me right now because he's somebody that everybody is kind of reaching out to. Beyonce, he's on Beyonce's album. He's on Taylor Swift's album.
I know.
So absolutely. Okay. Favorite place you've ever traveled to?
Ireland. Wow. I've been there twice now. I loved Paris too. And I haven't been out of the country a whole lot, but all of my family, most of my mom's family is from Ireland, and just being able to see where my ancestors came from. And I can't even tell you the green there, all the different colors of green. You can't even describe it. It's amazing. And everything is so much older in Europe than it is here. It's really neat.
Okay. So that means I got to put that on the bucket list then. I've never been to Europe.
Go
Okay.
to Ireland. Yeah.
Hey, absolutely. I appreciate that. Favorite restaurant you like to eat at in Cincinnati?
Oh God, I have so many that I love. So near my house, there's a fantastic Chinese restaurant called the
Ooh.
Oriental Walk, and
Mhm.
it's family owned. And my daughter worked there as a hostess when she was in high school. And it's
Okay.
run by this couple and their two daughters who are grown now, and they're amazing people. That's my favorite if you want some Asian food.
I'm with you.
Um, there's a really good fried chicken place here called the Eagle in
Now
Over the
you.
Rhine, and it has
Mhm.
expanded to some other cities around Ohio and Kentucky. Um, it's really, really good. Um, a really dear friend of mine who passed away was a French chef named Jean-Robert de Cavel. He still
Right.
has two restaurants here, Le Bar à Boeuf and French Crust, and I love those because it's like a homey French food type of feel.
Hmm.
If I want Italian food, there's a place called Via Vite downtown that's amazing, or also Pep and Dolores, and those are both family-owned places. If you really want something high end, go to Jeff Ruby's for the steak, but you're going to spend some bank.
That. You know what? For food, I'm willing to drop a little bit. For food, I'm a
Yeah,
foodie. So yes,
I'm willing. I am
absolutely.
willing to pay a lot for food too. I
There
definitely
you
am.
go. I love it. I love it. Okay. Let's talk about your day to day. Right now, obviously, if I'm not mistaken, is it WKRC
Yep.
or yeah, WKRC is what you're affiliated with now, morning news anchor, but you've also been a reporter as well. You've done it pretty much all what you can do. Talk to me about your day to day as being getting up. What does Sheila do? What does Sheila process? Right, of doing anchoring the morning show, of just doing all that. What is your day to day process like?
So I wake up at 2:15 every
Ooh,
morning, which is
okay.
brutal. That's the first people always ask me, what time do you have to wake up? I wake up at 2:15. I
Right.
immediately turn on the BBC while I'm getting ready. It takes me about an hour to get ready.
Sure.
Then I get in the car and listen to the local news on the radio on the way into work. I always make sure I'm in the car at 3:30 so I hear WLW. And then I get into work and I hit the door and get coffee, and it's just plowing through scripts. So we have a different producer for every hour.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them are pretty young. You know, a lot of the producers we're hiring these days are straight out of college.
Yeah.
Some of them have a little bit of experience now. So it's kind of a managing editor type situation. I look through scripts. I make sure that we haven't missed stories that are on a national level. And I talk to them. I talk to the producers about what happened overnight, as far as like local news, breaking news, that sort of thing. So I work for about probably a good hour and a half doing that, then get my makeup on, and 5 o'clock in the studio until 10. And then after the show, usually meeting with producers and returning emails. I help the producer of our 9 a.m. show, which is really interview driven. We have a lot of guests come in. I help
Mm-hmm.
her with booking guests and reaching out to people and organizing some of that. And then I leave, but I feel like I'm on all day. Like I'm always on social media and I'm always checking email during the day because you
I
don't want to
see
miss
that.
anything, right?
Yeah.
It's like a
Yeah.
constant thing. Yeah. So that's what my day is like most of the time. Sometimes I make an effort and I turn it off, you know.
Mm-hmm. No, I totally understand. No, I love it. I follow you on social media, as you know that. So when you're doing your thing, you're out and about, or when you're tuning in and trying to get up to date news, I definitely follow you on that. What is some advice that you would give someone that not just graduated from college, but somebody that wants to be an anchor, right? Because what they see is Sheila Gray, the pretty face that's in front of the camera, reading the teleprompter, but they don't know everything that goes on behind the scenes of how you prepare. Like you talked about, waking up at 2 some in the morning, going over scripts in an hour, for the hour range that you normally do. What is
Hmm.
some advice that you would give somebody that wants to come into the industry that wants to be an anchor just like you?
I think the biggest thing that I always tell people is, one, be a good writer. Make sure that your writing skills are really, really top notch. Have people read your writing. When I do special reports, I still have somebody go approve my script. I
Sure.
still have somebody read it to make sure that it makes sense and I haven't left something out or made a mistake. So be a good writer is number one. And the other thing is you have to follow all kinds of news. You need to watch other television stations. You need to watch national news. You need to watch different types of newscasts. You need to listen to other people's opinions. And you've got to be a good reporter before you can be a good anchor, because if you don't know how to get out and talk to people and get
Sure.
the story out of them and get that special thing out of them, you're not going to be a good anchor, because it's not just about being a talking head. It's about
Right.
caring about people and caring about your community. And so you build that up by spending time out in your community. So those are my top tips.
Once again, on with Sheila Gray, morning news anchor based out of Cincinnati, Ohio, the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. So Sheila, this was my tough thing when I first got into journalism. My toughest thing was, especially sports journalism, right? I would go cover a game and say that we're covering a team that lost 66-0, and I'm covering a team that got nothing. One of my one of my first few games that I did, it was tough. I had to talk to my sports editor about it. I'm like, these kids are 14 to 18 years old. That's the range,
Yeah.
right? That they could be on this football team. And I don't want to be slandering or just slandering these kids and beating them up. I mean, for lack of a better term, they already got their ass whipped already playing in the game. So I don't want to, because most of the people that read articles that I write are parents, like people that subscribe and family members.
Right.
But my editor told me, he was like, look, I understand what you're saying, but in this industry, you have to tell the truth. You got to tell the truth.
Yep.
Regardless of what it is, how bad it is, they might not have done much at all. It is what it is. That's the product that they're putting out there. So you have to tell the truth.
Yep.
That was one of my toughest things, because I really cared. I really wanted to be that person that tells good stories and not slander the team. But when he told me that, my mind kind of shifted like that. And I bring that up to say, when you're on the air and you have some hard news, or you have something that, you're reading about, maybe a fire, drive-by shooting, or some kind of hard news, do you take it home with you? Is it difficult for you to do your job and think about that?
Yeah, I take it home with me. I think when I was younger, I don't think I did as much, but because I'm a mom and because I've seen a lot of I have seen a lot of bad things happen, I do take it home with me. I think I process it by just knowing that because I'm a kind person, it might be easier for people to hear it from me. It's like a friend telling them about the bad thing that happened. So I kind of frame it like that. And especially if it's involving kids, I think because I'm a mom, I have a caring demeanor. You're talking about those kids playing football. If you felt that for them and you had to go talk to those kids, I'm sure you were sensitive and caring to them.
I was.
So that's really the thing for me. I don't, I talked about watching a lot of news and everything, but there is a point in my day where I do turn it off because I have to turn it off for my mental health. And especially during COVID, there were times when I definitely had to get away from it. I'll be honest, different things that have happened, like George Floyd. I was watching that poor man die every hour, 5 hours a day for how many days? And I had to talk to somebody about that. I did. I had to get some help for that. So, I think it's really important to have people that care doing the news. You don't want somebody who doesn't care, doesn't care what they're talking about. So, yeah, but your coach was right. You gotta state the facts, but you don't have to embellish.
Right. And that's the one thing that I definitely had to learn as a young journalist starting out was, you don't have to embellish. You don't have to go over the top. Just get to the point and kind of talk about that. So it's a great thing that you mentioned mental health, because I want to segue to that. Sheila, the words that we hear in our industry a lot are burnout, overworked, underpaid. And that's not everybody, but there are a lot of people that I've had on this platform that do talk about those things. Obviously, I'm with a publication. So I write articles, I edit photos, I edit videos, I do that. I don't have a contract. I can walk away at any time. But there's a lot of people that do have contracts with these stations, and sometimes the hierarchies, as far as the upper management, don't really care about that mental health stuff. They care about the bottom line, right?
Right.
How do you manage? Obviously, being a veteran in this game for a while, how do you manage your mental health and also your work-life balance? Like you said, you like to go to concerts, you like to go out. I certainly wouldn't mind being around you, and I'm sure you have plenty of friends that doesn't either. So how do you balance that work-life balance and keep stable mental health?
Well, you just said it. So sometimes I turn it all off and I spend time with my family. Sometimes I stay home because I don't feel like talking to people, that's not very often, but I go to concerts, I go out to eat. I always have girlfriend time. I always make sure I have girlfriend time. And sometimes there have been times when I have had to get some professional help, and my company is good because we have an employee assistance program, so you can call and talk to somebody, or there's an app called Better Help where you can get on and talk to a therapist on there. I have no problem doing that, but most of the time it's just getting a beer with my girlfriends and talking about it all, and we get it all out there and we solve all the world's problems and we're okay. The big thing is just unplugging. I also exercise a lot, and if I go straight from work to exercise, I blow off a lot of steam like that.
Hello. No question about that. I mean, obviously, my schedule is night to weekends because of sports, but I have a membership where it's anytime fitness. So when I get off, it's 24 hours. It's conducive to my schedule. I like to burn off some steam, play some music, and get going in the gym. I do like to do that as well.
It's good for you.
Absolutely. No question about it. I wanted to get to this or that. And the reason why I wanted to get to this or that is because I want to throw two things at you, and I want you to choose one or the other. But before I get to that, I want to ask you, do you like chicken? Do you eat meat?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So this first question is pivotal, Sheila. Okay. Popeyes or KFC?
Oh my God, Popeyes every day.
Oh my gosh, we just became best friends. You have no idea how many people have had on this platform tell me they've never tried Popeyes.
They're crazy. They're missing out.
No, it's okay if you choose KFC. I'm cool with that.
Right, but you have to try it.
Right. To live in a major city and never try Popeyes, I don't understand it. Like, what is going on?
That's funny.
Crazy. I love it. Okay. So since that, let me bounce this off for you. Lemon pepper or barbecue wings?
Oh, probably barbecue.
Okay. Now, do you like them bone in or boneless?
I like boneless.
Okay. Now we really going to be best friends. Okay. I like that.
Now, some people say boneless isn't really a wing. It's a chicken finger, though. But I like them boneless. Look at your face. Chris, you're frozen. Is my phone dying? What's happening? No, I'm still there. I lost you.
Lost you there for a minute.
There you are. Hey, I thought you were just staring at me about the boneless.
I was like, wait a minute. Your head was moving, and I'm like, but you cannot hear me. I was like, oh, Lord. It's okay. All right. So I like the boneless. We're off to a good start. We're off to a great start, actually. Here we go.
I only have 10% left on my phone, FYI.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay.
So Barry Larkin or Joe Burrow?
Oh, my God. You can't compare those two.
I can. Yes, I can.
No.
I have.
Barry Larkin's a Hall of Famer.
That's right. And Joe
Grew
Burrow
up
is
in
loved.
Cincinnati.
51 and 49. Which one you choose?
Joe grew up in Athens, home of Ohio University.
He did, but he played for the Bengals. He played for the Bengals. Okay.
I can't pick.
Okay.
You got to put Larkin up against some other Reds or Burrow up against some other Bengals.
Okay, we'll do that. Here we go.
Okay.
Joe Burrow or Boomer Esiason?
Joe Burrow. I love Boomer, but Joe Burrow.
Okay, here we go. We'll go with this one. Barry Larkin, okay, or Pete Rose.
Oh my God. As far as talent, it's Pete. There's no player who's surpassed him. But if you're gonna go with character, you got to go Barry.
Sure. Okay, here we go. These are 3 music concerts that I have for you. Okay, you got to choose one that you would rather go to.
Okay.
This first one up. Okay, Kendrick Lamar or Drake?
Probably Drake.
I like it. Okay. Whitney Houston or Janet Jackson?
Whitney.
You was definitive on that one. Okay, yeah. I got you. Okay.
Whitney's the GOAT, man.
She is. She's my mother's GOAT. That's for sure. I got you. Okay. New Edition or Boyz II Men?
Boyz II Men.
Ooh, okay. All right. I would have chose New Edition, but I'm good. I'm good with that. All right. Here we go. Do you like desserts?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm throwing 4 desserts. I would not say that. Stop it. But I'm throwing 4 desserts out. You got to choose one that you'll never eat again. Okay?
Okay.
Here we go. Cakes. That's A. B is ice cream. C is candy. D is cookies. Which one are you never eating again?
Candy.
I would have chose the same thing. Oh,
yeah.
Girl,
I love the baked goods.
Yeah, I like that. Are you a chip person?
Chocolate chips or
no,
chips?
Like potato chips.
Yes, I love chips.
I like the fact you asked me though. That's pretty cool. I like that. Here we go. Same format. All right. A, Cheetos. B, Doritos. C, Ruffles. D, Lay's. Which chip are you getting rid of?
Lay's.
Yep. Okay. I would have got rid of Cheetos.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Yeah, I would have got rid of Cheetos. Because I'm the barbecue Lay's and the sour cream and onion. I don't know about you, Sheila, but when I make a sandwich,
you might be right. You might be right about the Cheetos.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Okay. Here we go. I like that. You did pretty good on that. Now, I want to ask, even though you do this so well, if Sheila was never in journalism, what career would she have pursued and why?
Musical theater. Because
Are you serious?
I love Broadway. I love Broadway theater. I love musical theater. I love Broadway shows. I love to sing. I'm not any good. Okay. But I did that in high school and I absolutely loved it more than anything.
I do. I love plays. Like plays are like musical plays. Like
that was my favorite thing in high school. It was my absolute favorite thing to do.
Sheila, you are like wowing me right now. This is crazy. Okay, hold on though. Okay, what is your top 3 though? Top 3 musicals. This is a bonus question. Top 3 musicals.
Wicked.
Ooh.
Hamilton.
Okay.
Number 3. Oh, that's hard.
It is.
I probably have seen Les Mis the most.
Wow.
But I loved Come From Away. Have you seen Come From Away?
That I have not. No.
Oh, dude, just dial that up on YouTube and listen to it and you will see it in your mind. It's about these planes that had to land in Newfoundland on 9/11 because all the traffic stopped and they land in this tiny island and the population surged by like umpteenth percent because of all these planes that landed. And the people on this little island had to take care of all of them. Come From Away. It's great.
Okay. Now, I'm with you on Wicked. I'm with you on Hamilton, even Les Mis. I acted in Les Mis in high school. So,
awesome.
Yes. You remember the Drink With Me solo? That was me.
Oh, that was my God, how fun.
No doubt. Now,
That's
for
awesome.
me, just to be a little different, I love those, but I'm gonna go with Rent.
I
Uh,
love it.
I'm, I'm gonna go with Hairspray,
Yay.
right? And I'm also gonna
Yep.
go with Annie too. Annie,
Oh, Annie's great. That's classic.
right? So I'm gonna go with those three just to be a little different. But I love music. I really do. I
That's
really
awesome.
do. Yes, indeed. Okay, so I got two more questions for you, and
Okay.
next question is advice. What advice has someone gave you that you hold on dearly to?
Just be yourself, especially in television, because everybody can see you.
Hmm,
So just be
that's pretty.
yourself. You
That's
try to
pretty
be something
simple.
you're not, people are going to see that.
Okay, okay. Now, this next question has to do with what have you taken from your earlier days? Because if people see you, they know that you're Ohio, no doubt. But you actually started your career in Charleston, West Virginia.
Yep. You
So
did your research. Yep.
I did. So tell me what have you taken from that very first job that you have that you still have with you to this day?
Well, I would say that I had a really great mentor at WSAZ in Charleston who was a guy who had been he had worked in television in a lot of different places. And he also had worked in communications, like working with people, with corporations, teaching them how to be on TV and everything. And he was the first person who really told me how to tell a good story by focusing on the people, because a lot, you can go out and just do any old story, but if you
Okay.
can make a story about a certain person or people and make it people focused, that's what your viewer relates to. Your viewer relates to the person making the craft or struggling with the business or overcoming illness or running a marathon. Like, that's the human condition, right? That's why people watch sports.
Right.
That's what people, so I always focus on the people. That's what I learned from Jim Reeder in Charleston, West Virginia.
I love it. I do. I love it. Is there anything else you would like to add before we conclude?
Just that you never know who's watching. You never know who can open a door for you. So always, always, always be kind.
I love that. I really do. And I love the fact that you came on here. There's so many wonderful things about you, what you're doing,
Thank you,
how,
Chris.
how you give back to your community out there. I definitely have to come to Cincinnati at some point. I really do.
Okay. Well, if you come, we'll go get a beer at one of my favorite spots.
I love that. I love that. I really do appreciate your time. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, Sheila, and we will definitely be in touch.
All right. Thank you. Let me know when the podcast is up. I can't wait to watch. Thanks, Chris.
Yes, indeed. Take care now.
All right. You too, man. Bye bye.
Bye. What the? Why is it not?